He said he wasn't going to bark. I asked him. He promised me he wasn't going to bark. Hi, everyone. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. That's our teddy bear in the background. He didn't want to go in the bedroom. So I had to promise me, but he broke his promise. Hi. Hello. It's Rita, and it's the start of a brand new week. Hi, I'm going to say hello to my friends. Good morning, Bren. Hi, Gail. Hi, Christine. Hi, Leslie. There's Shirley. There's Dawn with an E. Let's see who else. I think I said hi, Christine. So welcome all. Oh, there's Leilani. Hi, Leilani. How are you? I know, but the girl, Miss Lola, is very, very crabby, like very high pitched, kind of a bark, and it sounds really. It's hard to hear, so she deserves to be in the bedroom, which she's okay with. But it's the boys that are so used to being here. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Gail. Good morning to everyone. So, oh, you made it? Oh, wow. Glad to see you're back. Where'd you go, Shirley? I know you were going somewhere. I just didn't know where. Um, and there's Louise. Hi. So, today we start off a brand new week, and we are going to be working on a really fun card today. I call it a fancy fold card, because it really is sort of fancy folding. And then when you open it up, it reveals this. Oops, this one got stuck. Okay, it reveals this inside piece. So the outside piece has watermelons on it, and then the inside piece has lemons and limes, pears and apples. And believe it or not, this is a Cricut Access card. It's from a very old cartridge way back in the day, back when I started with Cricut. There were things called cartridges. That's how they got images to people, and you would buy the cartridges, and you would have all of those images on Design Space. And then it wasn't called Design Space before; it was called Cricut Craft Room. But then they did Cricut Design Space, and they no longer needed cartridges. So they transferred all over everyone's cartridges, and they changed the name to an image set. But if you had old cartridges that you purchased, it will show as purchased. And believe it or not, I had like a couple hundred, which at the time was a lot. But now when you go to image sets, there's like over 5,000 of them. So definitely worth it for me for Cricut Access. Now, if you want to see all of the image sets, all you have to do is go under images, and then in this first category, which says highlighted categories, you're going to go to the bottom where it says image sets. Okay. And yeah, so there's over 6,000 image sets, and they keep adding more. You can tell the old image sets are the ones that have a lot of different images. So the ones that are fairly new have like I'd say between 10 and 40 images. But some of the older ones, which is this one that we're going to be doing, have like maybe 100 or more. So this one comes from a cartridge called Crazy Cool Card. So I'm going to type in the word crazy so you can see what comes up. And there it is. There's crazy cool cards. There's crazy cute cards. And I went through these before, but I kind of rushed through them. So I thought that I would cherry pick uh, cherry pick, because we're doing a fruit card. I thought I would cherry pick these and show you some of the more popular ones. And under crazy cool cards, you will find this. And it's not really it's not very suggestive of what it looks like. When you click on it, it'll bring you into Design Space. But I actually made some changes here. But backing up, once you have it all cut out, what do you do about putting it together? Well, so to put it together, I'm going to go back to the old cartridge view, and I'm going to the help center and I'm typing in handbooks, the word handbooks. When you do that, you will land on this. This is the handbooks. Each cartridge came with a little booklet that was in there usually. And so what they've done is they've supplied those here so that you can refer back to the handbook. The handbook would give you some information about how to put it together. It wasn't the greatest, but it served its purpose. So as you can see, as we scroll down here, we're going to look for crazy. Okay. So we're looking for crazy, 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 crazy. So today is National Cheer Up the Lonely Day. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to find some really cute card that's not like themed? It's just fun. And that's where I came up with doing this summer fruit one. So here's crazy cool cards, crazy cute cards. And this first link which says open is going to open up the this is the handbook. So they've done PDFs of all of the images here. And you can then, this is what the handbooks would look like. So this is the one that we're going to do, number 47. So we're going to basically scroll until we find it. And it's down the bottom, I think. So there it is. So this is a little bit of an explanation of how to put this together. Now, I did made some changes to this and I'll show you what changes I made, but I just wanted you to see this because conceptually there were some changes that I wanted to make so that the colors were correct. And so here you see on the watermelon slices, they're yellow, but I wanted to do green. I mean, maybe that could be a green. I don't know. But also with the slices of the citrus fruits came in, I wanted to make one limes and the other one lemon. So I made a few changes there. So let's go back to Design Space and we'll grab this. And actually, I have to go back to my canvas because I have to I've already shared this file with you. It's in the description of the video on YouTube. I've shared it in the community, and I will make sure it gets posted on the Facebook video when that comes out. Okay, so we're going to start from scratch, and then we're going to go images and image sets, and then we type in crazy. We find down here crazy cool cards. We go in there. We find the watermelon. We can even save it, bookmark it, and then let's put this onto our blank canvas. Now, there are a few things to know about these older designs, and that is like coloring's not always the best, and also a few other things. Size is pretty important here. So what you have to do is you have to ungroup. Now I'm going to remove this envelope. You guys know I don't like to make envelopes. This will fit into a basic square envelope. But you see there are all of these little pieces here, including this piece. This is the main piece. It looks like a flower. And you can't really see it too well, but there are all kinds of scores on there. So let me just show you. I'll make the coloring a little bit lighter so you can see. There we go. So they want us to cut this out in black, which I in total agreement with. But you see here, this is how we're doing the fancy fold. It has a triangle two triangles really, that one's upside down. It's almost like a Star of David, and then each of the petals of the flower has a score. Now I'm going to be using my Maker 3, which means I can use this, which is called the scoring wheel. If you don't have a Maker or a Maker 3, you can use something called the scoring stylus. That's this, and that goes into a different clamp. And when we go to do the scoring, I will show you how both will work. Okay, so you don't have to use your Maker on this, but you know, if you do have a Maker and you have the scoring wheel, hooray, you're good. But now I want to change the size because it's really actually kind of small. When I look at this main piece, it says it's about 6.25 inches wide. And I think we should make it bigger. So I'm going to select all of the pieces. I'm going to hit align center. Okay. Now all of these are now all of the images. I know you can't see all the images there, but they are all together and they're grouped. And that's important when you're resizing. So I'm going to actually resize this here to, let's say 10 inches. I think 10 inches would be kind of cool. So there we go. Now, I'm going to also ungroup it because I want to point something out. So this is for the watermelon that goes on the outside flaps, but this green that's representative here is not, to me, is not the right green. So I'm going to change it just so it reminds me when I go to print this, that I'll have this nice Kelly green for, and remember this background is black, so all these little holes that are the seeds will show through as black. So we're going to change that. And then let's have a look at these pieces in particular. So these pieces are, there's two items in here. There's the pear, which is actually the flesh of the pear. And then you have these little sort of that shows the sections on the slices. And then also this, which is the apple, the inside, the flesh of the apple. But I got a little bit confused here about the color for the flesh of this is like the flesh of the limes and lemons. So what I want to do here is I want to change this is supposed to be orange, I guess. So I want to just group this together and change the color to yellow, because that's going to remind me that those are lemons. Okay. And then when we get to this place here, as we pull apart these, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything's in a group of 6. But 3 of these I want to make yellow, and 3 of them I want to make green. So I am going to actually group this little bit like this, and I'll change it to that green that we just used. So now these greens will print together. Those are my line pieces. And then these pieces will be like a deeper yellow. So let's go ahead and change that color so that it knows, or when I'm cutting it out, it has that. So then now at this point, we are ready to cut it out and also to do that scoring. So we can do that, and we can get going. And then I'm going to show you how to put it together. So so at this point, you can just go ahead and hit make it. Boy, that's Benji. Benji was, I don't know if you can hear him barking, but I do hear him barking. So when you hit make it, you might end up with pieces all over the place. And I actually cut this out already. I cut one for my sample and one to put together for you. So I'm not going to actually cut this whole thing out again, but I am going to show you this piece, the one that we made gray that's really going to be black. So let's go to the cut stage, and I'm using cardstock. I'm using Cricut cardstock. Actually, Cricut has really beautiful cardstock. If you've not been someone that, or you're looking for places to buy cardstock, Cricut sells 12 by 12 inch cardstock, and I hear through the grapevine that more colors are coming. So don't, if you like Cricut cardstock, don't give up hope. There's cardstock coming with all the different colors. Okay. So what I've done is taken a sheet of 12 by 12 Cricut cardstock and put it on the mat. And I am going to choose medium cardstock. And I'm also going to hit this remember material settings, because the rest of my cutout is also going to be on cardstock. Okay. And here is what I wanted to show you. So I have a maker. So with the maker, you have the option of using the additional tools. So here you can actually see that the scoring wheel is recommended, and it's the O1 scoring wheel, which there are two tips to the scoring wheel. The O1 has one wheel, the O2 has two wheels. Pretty easy to remember. But if you didn't have or didn't want to use the scoring wheel, you can edit the tools and choose scoring stylus. I do this a lot when I'm making cards, when there's just like one score that's needed. But in this case, because there's a lot of scoring, let's go back to look at that. See all that scoring? I want to make sure that those scores are nice and crisp. So I'm going to use the scoring wheel. So let me go ahead and move you over to so you can see my machine. So this is the Cricut Maker 3. There's my cardstock on there. And before I go ahead and load that, I'm going to put in this. This is a scoring wheel. Remember, it said O1 right here on the tip. And by the way, you just press this little plunger thing and that comes off. So I'm going to open the clamp B, or the one on the right. I'm going to take out my housing and my blade and put in my clamp. In the clamp, I'm going to put in this. Now, I want to point out, if you don't know the difference between a maker and an explorer, the maker has all these extra tools, and I have all of those tools, and I will show you different things that you can use. And the reason why you can't use it on the other machines is because of this here. It's like kind of a gear, and you see there's matching gear here. So that gear actually turns the tool and makes it work. Okay, so let's put that in, and we'll get the scoring done. The scoring is always the first thing that gets done. That goes scoring, writing, and then cutting. So in this case, we don't have any writing, so it's going to do scoring first. And after it does the scoring, the machine will stop. It will pause and say, can you put in the cutting, the housing with the cut? Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. So while I have you guys here, I wanted to tell you that the June giveaways, which it feels like forever ago, but the June giveaways have been delayed and they won't go out. I'm hoping they go out this week, but this works out because I didn't hear from two of the giveaway winners. And those people are Lisa Gerber and Tina Rideout. They haven't responded with an email. My email address is missrita@gmail.com. So Lisa, if you're out there and listening, Lisa Gerber or Tina Rideout is kind of your last call. If I don't hear from you, then I will have to go and choose another winner. Okay. So please, please, please send me your address so I can get that winner, your winnings out to you. The other thing that I put off that I really need, I really need, I needed to be more particular about, but we had such a crazy week last week that I forgot. So every month on Patreon, I have patrons on Patreon. Okay, see, it stopped. So now I'm going to take this out, put this in. So, and then I have to hit the button again. So every month on Patreon, I have winners. I have a lot of Cricut cuties hanging around, and I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you my generosity, or thank you for your generosity by choosing winners each month of my patrons list. So if you like Cricut cuties and like to receive like surprise presents, happy mail, you might want to consider becoming a patron on Patreon. You can do that for as little as $3 a month, and you can also do it yearly. And what that money does is it's a pledge. I'm never going to make you pay for anything like files or anything, but it's a pledge that you make to support me. So if you find that it's you're getting something out of this, then I would greatly appreciate you helping me out by giving me either a monthly or yearly pledge. But if you can't swing it, that's okay. I'm okay with that. So I don't know if you can see all of this, but that's all scored up just like that. It's almost like a Star of David. And then each of the petals has a score. There's no score in the middle. I'm going to show you how to put this together. But in a sec, because I want to tell you about the Patreon winners for June. They are Becky Mills and Vicky. I hope I'm going to say this right. Vicky Latchney. Becky Mills and Vicky Latchney. Hooray, you guys are winners for June. That means I'm going to send you out a little care package from my studio. It won't be from Cricut. So I need you to send me an email and it has your full shipping address. Okay. So that's that. So congratulations for this past month's winners, Becky and Vicky Latchney. Becky Mills, Vicky Latchney. Congratulations to both Becky and Vicky. Thank you so much. All right, so here is our main piece. This is the one that we're most concerned about. The rest is just gluing, believe it or not, and just so you can see how this folds. It does take a little while to sort of train the paper to fold correctly, but the first step is to make sure that you've got all of these folds done. So you would just like fold right here and then turn it one petal and keep folding all the way around like this. Okay. Now for ease of folding, I like to fold it both ways. So I flip it over and fold it both ways. We're not done with the fold. So now we have to not fold here, but fold on the sides. You know what? If you actually couldn't swing it, you can put the fold there because it gets covered. But it's the point of this, the way that it folds is that there's no fold on the inside. So I don't know if that makes like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that a hexagon? I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know if it's a hexagon or not. So, and I'm going to make sure I fold the other way too. It makes it a whole lot easier. So there we go. So let's just talk about the fold part because that's, I think, the hardest part of this. So now we have it all folded. Now I see how I ended up folding in there. It doesn't really matter, but you can see it now. But what is going to happen is once you get this all done up, you are going to fold it like it's a little bit hard the first time, but you're going to fold the flaps in and then they fan out. So let's put some stuff on here so you can see how that really works. So let's do the outside bit, which is this. So let's open this up so you can see. So the outside bit has a piece of watermelon slice on every other, and I put them on the right hand side. It really doesn't matter what you do. So let's go ahead and put those together. Here are my six. There's 6 pieces. So there, I hope, are all my pieces. I think that's all of them. Oh, I see one more. Sorry. Okay, and we're going to use some glue, and we're going to glue these pieces together. This, as I mentioned, this is the easiest part of this card. There's just a lot of gluing. And so that you know, I am not sponsored by any glue company, so I'm not one to tell you where you should buy your glue, although people in the chat will tell you where to buy glue. But I like to use glue that's in a very precise tip, and it kind of the kind of glue you use really doesn't matter as long as you have very precise control over it. Honestly, we're not using a lot of glue. We're just using a little bit to adhere those pieces together. And if you don't put enough, you can go back and put more in. But if you put too much, it causes a big mess and it kind of ruins your card. So the big tip here is the least amount. Less is more. Less, okay? So here I am putting my red pieces onto my green pieces. And I know they don't look complete because they're not on the card yet. Oh, am I missing another one? Yes, I am. So here is the other one. I want to point out something too, especially on this red. So I didn't grab, sometimes I have like other pieces of somebody else's 12 by 12. And this actually was from Basil, and which they're a really big company. But Cricut has wonderful paper. Cricut's paper does works well. But this particular Basil brand, I don't know which is textured or whatever, at least with the red, it tore a lot on the underside. I wasn't too happy with that. And it wasn't my blade because it's a new blade and everything else cut just fine. So consider that when you're doing paper crafts. I really like Cricut cardstock, but it doesn't come in all the colors that I want. So when I have to find something else, I generally will choose something like AC cardstock or American Craft cardstock. And there's also different cardstocks that Joann's carries and that Michael's carries and stuff like that. So just be aware. It's best before you go investing a whole lot of money in cardstock to check them all out, see how they cut on your machine. So now I'm putting these on the right side of the petal. And this is the underside of the card. So let's put those all there. So yesterday we had such a fun time. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, but yesterday at 10 we had a video with Wendy from Create and Escape downtown, and she showed us this beautiful sea glass art that she does, and that was really awesome. And I wanted to let you know that if you share that video, I'm going to give it a couple of days, because if you share the video, you can be entered into a drawing, and we haven't had very many people do the share. So if you want to win something, I have a beautiful, I think it's 5 by 7 inch piece that's the sea art, the sea glass art, which is all of that stuff. Most all of that stuff comes from local beaches, which is kind of cool. The sand and some of the shells actually come from local beaches the glass comes from all different places, but some from our beaches up here, but they're pretty well combed over. So people will sell her beach glass. From like that they collect on the Cape, on Cape Cod. Okay, so there is this. So now we can go ahead and show you how this is going to fold, because when you fold it, you're going to fold in. You see this? You're going to fold this in like this. You might get to a point you're like, this isn't going to work, Rita, but it does. It does work. The first time you do it, it's a little bit hard, but here you go. There it is. So it's like almost like a 6-pronged petal. And I would suggest once you fold it, just go back and sort of smooth it out here. Okay, so that way you know how it's going to fold. Now let's do the inside here. So the way that the inside goes is that we're going to have our apple right here, and then we're going to put our pears here, and then on the other side of each of these petals we're going to put a lime slice and a lemon slice. So hopefully we have time to do all of that. So let's talk about the lime and lemon slices. So they're actually 3 pieces. So there's the flesh, and then there's the actual fruit, and then this is supposed to be the seeds or whatever. And so that would be a lemon slice is going to go here. And then for the lime slices, it looks like this. So actually this part here is the same for the lemon and the lime, but I did change. Remember, I made that change there. So that's going to go there. The apple is only 1 piece, and it's going to go right here. It's going to hide all of those lines that we didn't want to happen, but they did anyway. And then we've got our pear slices just like this. See that? And these are going to go into these little triangles here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the way that this is scored, there are these little triangles right here. There's the middle, and then there are each of the petals. So let's get started on that. And while I'm doing that, because it's really not much to talk about, but while I'm doing that, I just wanted to remind you of a couple things. So we're doing this new schedule, and I've committed to it for the summer, although honestly it's been a hard week this past week. I don't know if it was because I had my mother living here or what, but it was a kind of a difficult week. She's now back at her apartment, and we're hoping that that will stick for a while, but she got difficult about where she lives. So apparently, she wanted to go back to her apartment, so she's going to do that. I think she really wants to go back to New Hampshire, but she just doesn't have the services up there. So so she's gone back. So it's quiet in here. It's just, but she's fine. I'll still see her and everything. I saw her on Saturday night. Went to for Chinese food with my sisters. It was the first time I got to sit down the meal with my sister in years. And as an Italian person brought up in an Italian household, sharing a meal with a family member really just, it's a uniting thing. And I missed her so much, and it made me miss also my cousins. So I'm going to try to reach out to my cousins this summer and see if we can't get together. I have most of my cousins' parents are gone. There's only one left. The matriarch is left, is my Auntie Lisa. But she lost her husband, my Uncle Matt, about 11 years ago. And then, of course, my dad passed away. And then we lost Auntie Anna, Uncle Sal, and Auntie Mary, and Uncle Joe. And they were quite character. And they each had, let's see, how many kids did they have? 1, 2. They each had 3 kids. So that's 12. So I have a lot of cousins, and their kids have had kids and stuff like that. And I just want to put something together like that. But isn't it great you haven't been together, especially with COVID, it really cut us off socially. And I am finding for myself that getting back into the groove, I don't know if it's because of COVID or if it's because, I don't know, I was sick during COVID or something, with cancer. I don't know if it's because of that, but it feels like getting back into schedule. Like, I mean, I used to get in my car, not even think about it, and head over to Walmart or Target or go grocery shopping, at Market Basket or something, and never ever thought about, second thoughts about it. And now I'm like, I used to do that during the day. Like, what did I used to do during the day? Like, I'd have I do my whatever show, at that point. Well, I did have a show in 2019. And I would do that, and then I would go off and swim at the Y, and then I do all my errands. It was great. It was a great little routine, but I just got out of the habit, as we all have done. I got out of the habit, and now I'm like struggling to get back into it. And I'm wondering, did everybody else feel? Um, yeah, I know, Aaron, I know. Oh, it's so good, Deborah, to hear that you're having dinner with your family. It's so important. Family is so important. Now I realize today, family, it's a different it's a different dynamic, but and maybe some people that aren't actual family members are, friends or whatever, but just the social, we're social animals. We're created to be social. So we need the interaction of other people. Now, lately, I think that most people have been kind of grumbly when you go out in public. So that might be the reason why I'm having trouble. I don't know. But I just try to brighten someone's day, which brings me full circle around, to national, cheer up the lonely. Because, I'll admit to it. I've been lonely during this last 2 months. I mean, not all the time. I have you guys, and I have my small family, but I've been lonely for that interaction that we have. And it really is necessary. I mean, they make whole movies about people who are stranded and how it affects them. Like Tom Hanks, what's that movie? Outcast or something like that. And it changes your viewpoint. And it changes your, I don't know, your your brain a little bit. And so now we have to all go back to, we can't stay hidden forever. We have to go back to socializing. Yeah, I mean, if you need to wear a mask or whatever, then do that. But you don't want to just completely be out of society, right? So, yeah, they forgot how to smile. I mean, things are great, but they're not terrible. Every time, like, I think about like people who are complaining, whether it's on social media or in person, and I think, you know what, 2 years ago I would have allowed you to complain. That's what I feel about it. It's like I would have allowed to hear your complaints because it stunk. It wasn't fun for anybody. And it really, really was dangerous. So I would have been like, okay, I can tolerate your negativity about that. But now things are so much better. We don't have to wait in line to buy toilet paper anymore, or wear masks everywhere we go and still be worried about other people. And just, I just don't understand the negativity. I think maybe it's just a habit that people get in or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure what it is, but snap out of it, people. Okay, so as I continue there, as I mentioned, there's a lot of gluing here. So we're going to keep gluing all of these really cute. There's a 3-layer gluing part to the limes and the lemons. So let's go ahead and continue with that. And I will chit chat on some of the things. Yeah, yes, better. It is better. What was that saying? Somebody, you might be going through a dark time, but it won't always be dark. This will pass. This too shall pass, which is actually a Bible verse, but this too shall pass is something to remember. So when I think about, some hard time or something I'm going through, I just keep saying, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And it helps me stay the person I am, which is a naturally, I think, naturally kind of cheery person. So I just have to keep. And I think it tones down. If you know that there's an end in sight about something, I think it tones down much of um, the 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 feeling of like, this is awful. I don't know, like the panic. I think it tones down the panic because you're thinking, okay, is this really a dire situation? How do I want to respond to this? And I remember, oh, this was a long time ago, but I remember reading a book about, I think it's called behavioral something behavioral, where basically psychologists kind of trained you to not panic. So like, say you were afraid of snakes, you would start off like, being, I don't know, within eyesight of a snake, and then you would move closer, that sort of thing. Behavioral something, dynamic, I don't know what it was, but and then to the point where you can actually pat a snake. And I mean, some things are dangerous. I don't think I would be patting snakes, but I mean, the whole idea, like if you're afraid to fly, well, in this day and age, it's a little hard to do to do travel. And so then what happens is you don't travel, right? Only places you can drive to. So it's important to figure out those things that are troublesome to you and try to lessen it. Well, there's Sherry Ann. Is so Nova Scotia. Oh, Gail. Oh, Gail. Well, you have us. That's the thing. And you know what? There's no shame in being lonely. There is no shame in that, especially what we went through the last 2 years, especially. And what I end up doing is I volunteer in my community and just get out there. So if there's an event that maybe before I didn't go to, I just want to get back into the scene. So that's what I'm hoping for this summer, is getting back to the scene. Which brings me to a little announcement, is that I'm going to be working with Peabody Access TV, and we are going to be having a live video podcast all about the city of Peabody, and it's going to be a regular podcast. I don't know if it's going to be once every week or once every 2 weeks, but I will be doing that starting July 31st. We're going to be actually doing a live video feed from Leather City Commons, which is our beautiful. It's sort of in the middle of the city. It's our beautiful mid city commons. It's hidden, and we have these concerts that are coming up. So we're doing, the first concert is July 31st, and we're just going to try to get more people to come down to the concert. But also, I figured you guys would want, if you're interested in my area, my neck of the woods, you might want to come and watch it, and that will be in addition to what I already do. So those will probably be, to start with, on Sunday nights, because that's when the concerts are, Sunday nights. But obviously, as we get into the fall, it'll change a little bit, and then the format will change a little bit as well. But I'm pretty sure it'll always be live. I'm going to take you. Yeah, I'm going to take you. The only thing is I can only do the program pre-concert, because if I put the concert um on video live feed, there might be copyright issues. So I have to be very careful about that. So like if they're singing a song from Billy Joel or something, and I rebroadcast it, then I could end up with a copyright infringement, and I don't want to do that. So I will come to you probably an hour before the concert, and then we'll meet some people in town. I already spoke to the mayor's office, and maybe the mayor will be there, or the chief of staff, Chris Ryder, and there's some people at the so the 31st. The concert is also a health and wellness expo, so there'll be people from everywhere, including the senior center, and hopefully you can grab a few big wigs and do just a few minutes with them, like a little, chat with them. I'll line it up as we get closer to the broadcast. So this is just an example of me trying to be more social, after 2 years of not being social, at least not in person social. So this is me. Can you accommodate a group of us, for a small convention? Well, we probably could. We'd have to plan it all out. Yes, we could do a little gathering. I'm interested in hearing what your thoughts would be, what you'd like to see, and would you come here? And if you came here, like, would you, obviously, would you need hotel accommodations? But yeah, it's actually, Wendy's been telling me that for a while. Hey, why don't you have a little get together with anybody who can come, and we can craft in the shop together. And we can play with our machines and stuff like that. So I'd be open to that. I would be open to that, Perlita. I would love that. Love to meet you guys in person, and just sort of. But I don't know how that does take a while to coordinate. So maybe it's something we decide. Okay, we're going to do it next year in the month of whatever, June or whatever, and that would be great. Saturday was Melody Lane's memorial. I don't know if you caught it. A lot of people did. And she had some people that was broadcast and everything. And when I was writing out my thing for Alex, I remembered when I met Melody in person the first time was in 2018. 2018, and it was kind of fun because she was a big deal. Unfortunately, I didn't know that she was a big deal, so so I just was like, she was a fellow product expert. But and we got to know each other more and more over the years, and so it was kind of fun. We would chat on occasion, and we would meet in meetings, and so I feel like I knew her well, and her loss is greatly felt, obviously. So okay, here we go. It is all glued. To see how I put the now, you could decide you want to use orange segments, or you don't want to use the line, whatever you want to do, grapefruit or whatever. But you see how cute it is. It's very what's the word, like graphic like design. So the petals each have one of the slices, and then we have our 6 pairs, and then our apple. Now all we have to do is fold it correctly, and we fold it like this. Okay, so this goes in like this, and it does get to the point where you're like, I don't think this is gonna work, but it will, and you won't rip it. And there it is. And the way that we made it, which was, let me just see the size that we chose. I did this as 10 inches. It folds into, let's fold it again. It folds into so that it can fit into a 5 by 7 inch card, an envelope, or you could actually probably put it in a square envelope. I'm not sure. It might be a tight squeeze in a square envelope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to put it in a square envelope to give away, then you might make it slightly smaller, because folded up, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just over 5 inches. So this was a 10-inch round that folds up to just over 5 inches. And even on the back, if you wanted to, you could just get a little hexagon and write, or use your machine to write, and get out there and cheer up some lonely people. There's a lot of us out there. So this would be a great little gift for somebody that maybe you haven't seen them in a while, and it's okay to check up on people. We did that during the pandemic. It's okay. Say, how you doing? Some people have some problems, and they need some help, and they miss you, that sort of thing. So there you go. All right. And thank you so much. So this is today's card. It is a summer fruit fancy fold card. Let me go back in case you came late and show you where I got it. Let's go back here. If you're looking for the file for this, then you can find it in the description and also in the community. But I went to images, and we went image sets, you see, and then we're now in this image set. It's called Crazy Cool Cards. Now, I've made every single one of these cards, and I would make them again. So if there's one in particular you really want to see, I was thinking this boom box would be fun to redo. But also the grandfather clock is fun. But the ones that just show like one thing and not the inside, like maybe we should make the bee next, right? Because I don't think I have done the bee in a really long time. So these are fun, fun, fun. There's some cascade cards. There's some what's the one with a cross, like the cross over each other. There's some that open up and there are little surprises inside. So these are really a lot of fun. Definitely want to look into it. And all right, everyone, that's going to do it for me for today. I will be back on Tuesday at 9 o'clock, and we're actually going to do another card, a card for what's it called? Christmas in July. Let me go back here. So one of the most favorite cards that I have made that people just love, love, love is my Anna Griffin Peace Snowflake card. And this was put together with a number of different things, all from Cricut Access. And you'll see here the snowflake, a piece, and then there's the card base and the square. This is in the Cricut community. I'm going to do it tomorrow because there are a lot of pieces here, but it's a beautiful card. And since it is July, we can do a Christmas in July type of thing, and that will be fun. That will be Tuesday. I am going to actually have a show on Wednesday and pop in on Thursday. It probably won't be a full show, but we're going to be working on some beautiful iron-on things on Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'll be back on Friday in the evening. That worked out really, really well. So that's the week looking ahead. I hope that you've enjoyed today and you can make it back for the other programs. So we're going to do that this week. We're going to have fun. If you can't catch the lives, catch the replay. And this is also your reminder to get your name in for one of the great prizes for July. The prizes are the hat press, a Cricut EasyPress Mini, you know, the cute little iron looking one, bundle, which is a really wonderful bundle, and a Brightpad Go, and then another one that I'll put together with the leftover money for the month. So use your joy for insert card for an anniversary. Good job, Paralita. All right, everybody. So if you are one of the lonely people out there, join me and admit it. You know, I'm lonely. I want to be with people, and this people is these people are just fabulous people in this group. So if you want to make friends with some people, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, these are great people. They're what makes this program special, because they chat, they get to know each other, they care about each other. So that is the best thing about Cricut Chat with Miss Rita. It's not just Miss Rita. You had a hard time finding the Rafflecopter link. It is in the description of every video. Okay. So when you find a video on replay, as long as it was July, go in there and you can click on from there. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock for this lovely redo of this card piece. Snowflake card with it was designed with Anna Griffin elements and even a sentiment on the inside. So we'll see you tomorrow for that. And that's okay, Cindy. It's, you don't have to make the lives, but it's lovely to have you when you do. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit like on the video. I really appreciate it. It does help me. And I will see you again tomorrow.